Welcome to the Buffalo Bourbon Enthusiasts. I'm Brian.
I'm Debbie.
And today we are going to do the What Are You Drinking Now challenge sent to us by Brian and Lauren from Bourbon School. If you want to find out about our journey, stay tuned. All right, got a little coffee here to warm the throat, chest, still feeling it. I don't know, got a little Wolfman action going here. All right.
Cleaning lady action going.
Yeah, we're all gussied up for this video. Gussie, you're going to have to look at that one, what that means. Okay, so I know when our bourbon journey started, but I'm going to go hit the way back machine. I'm gonna, the way back, like before I met you.
Oh, okay.
When I was a little boy,
Yeah.
5 foot tall, maybe 8 years old, I'm sitting on the porch with my pappy, and I had a little beer stein, probably held 6 ounces of beer. He would give me a little shot of whiskey, right? 8 or 10 years old, black velvet, and he would give it to me. He's like, "Here, have this."
Who gave it to you? Your grandpa or your dad?
My dad.
Yeah.
And he'd laugh at me because I'd be like, ugh. You know, and that's the impression I had of whiskey. Now, I was a delinquent, believe it or not. This one, not so much.
I was a cop's kid.
Yeah. And so, you know, drinking at 15, 16, 17, 18. Drinking age was 18 back then. You know, mostly beer, but once in a while you would get like Jeremiah Weed or Jack Daniel's 7, you know, crap. Right? That's what we'd be drinking.
That's what we could afford.
That's what we could afford. Now, how about you and whiskey prior to our bourbon journey? Any experience besides doing shots?
No, probably that's about it.
That's about
Only
it.
time I had whiskey is if I had already drank too much other stuff.
So, my experience for whiskey was like, you know, that Bugs Bunny face when he drinks some poison. Until when?
It was before we went to Cincinnati. I got you a little bourbon club thing, remember?
Was that before?
Yo, big time. That was years ago.
Was that before?
Yes.
Well, how long ago do you think Cincinnati was?
I could look it up.
I looked it up.
Oh,
That's 2013.
wow.
So I'm
Wow.
thinking
10
Cincinnati.
years?
I'm thinking because we went to the Cincinnati Open and then we were like, I talked her into it. Let's do the bourbon trail. Now we only did like 3 or 4 distilleries, Four Roses, Wild Turkey, Woodford, maybe another one. Who knows? But that's all we did because we weren't really into it.
That's before you had to have appointments and everything.
And I think this was different because we went to Four Roses over the summer. That was a big one. I think there's 2 I read somewhere. We went to this little. It was a little podunk one, man.
Yeah,
It wasn't
I liked
real. Yeah, I like that one better. But I think that is where it started, and I think then you got me the Bourbon Club and everything. I'm pretty sure.
Maybe.
Well, I don't know. You're probably right. I'm old and senile. But I remember sitting at the bar, and they're trying all these different ones. And then we finally got, you know, they got to teach you how to drink it. I didn't know how to drink it, you know. And I'm like, ooh, yeah, I like that one. Of course, it was the most expensive one there. And I think it was a Four Roses Private Select. It might have been the standard single barrel, but I think it was a Private Select. And I don't think we bought anything at that time there.
Yeah, we bought something.
Did we buy something? Yeah, I know we bought some.
Cool bottle.
Yeah, we bought some crappy whiskey at Wild Turkey, like the honey something.
To cook with.
Yeah, well, we never opened that ever.
I think Dad drank it.
But that was like the, hey, you know what? Whiskey doesn't always have to make me go, ugh! You know? And I think that was the start.
Yeah, I think so too.
And that was a long time ago. That was
For you.
2000.
I didn't really get into it till
later. And as far as what we had kicking around the house, it would be like 1, 2, 3 bottles,
If that.
if that, right?
And you drink them all up.
And we would drink it and be like, hey, let's go to the liquor store. Let's look. Oh, this one looks cool. That kind of
Yeah.
deal.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
That's how we used to pick out wine.
Yeah, absolutely. But Deb, you got me, I don't know if you remember, you mentioned it, but
The club?
yeah, for Christmas, right?
That or your birthday.
One of those two.
Yeah, you got some cool stuff out of there.
I was looking on Instagram trying to see the things. A still house, a watershed, a Sonoma County.
Did I gotcha?
I'm not sure. Like, I'm just looking at these
There's a
like
larceny in there.
old pictures.
Few.
Yeah, I
Few,
mean, there was like
that.
weird stuff. To be honest with you, I'd like to go back in time. It was probably like, not that good. To me, it was good at the time, though,
I
right?
didn't know any better.
And then we went to, this goes out. My complaint was, remember what my complaint was?
With what? You're always complaining.
I know. My complaint was about that subscription.
Yeah, what was the complaint?
It was for 6 months.
Oh, yeah, he wanted a year.
I'm like, you don't love me enough to give me a year, for God's sakes? Yeah. I was trying to weasel more. And then I tried to tell her I like it, and, we should. Okay. I was done.
We'd never do it now because you probably had half the stuff they'd send.
So then every Christmas or whatever, she would get me a
decent bottle.
random bottle. Yeah. They've gotten better over the years. But we went to Winfield's. If you're ever in Lackawanna, go to Winfield's and you can message me and I'll tell you what to eat there. It was a bourbon. This was our first one. It was a bourbon and food pairing dinner.
Buffalo Trace.
Was it all Buffalo Trace? No, I
think so.
don't remember.
Just remember the Weller.
I do remember we tried. I want to say it was a Pappy. I don't want to say it was a Lot B or a Old Rip. It was probably a Pappy 15.
Really?
I don't know. I don't think it would be anything better than that. Do you think so?
I didn't think we'd ever have a Pappy there.
Oh, yeah, we had a Pappy. Because I remember, I think they served us the Pappy 4th, and then the 5th was Weller, and they were like, try this. It was Weller 12. It's the same mash bill, same warehouse, but a different location of the warehouse. And obviously now we know there's more regulations, and it's more difficult to be a Pappy than it is to be a Weller. But I tried the Weller 12, and I'm like, ooh.
It was good.
I loved it, right? And I said, I think I like it better than the Pappy, which is heresy now. Now I drink the Weller 12. I'm like, yeah, it's all right. All right, so then Deb had to go get me a Weller 12.
For Christmas.
Go ahead. Talk about that. Where'd you get it? Blah, blah, blah.
If I remember it, I got it down. It was hard. You couldn't find it anywhere. I even called the distillery, and they told me they only sold it to 2 liquor stores here in Buffalo at the time. And one was Hodges downtown. So I went there and got it.
Okay. I'm not going to ask how much you paid.
No, not a lot.
Nowadays, Weller 12 is, if you can't find Weller 12 or you didn't find Weller 12, you got issues because it was readily available for astronomical prices or
I paid $100 for
cheap
it back
prices. Okay. So, but I mean, it was tough to get back then, or tougher to get. So I think that kind of got us going even further. And
then we went to another dinner bourbon thing.
Okay, I was
at
just
Toutant.
At Toutant.
Mm-hmm.
And you remember who that was sponsored by?
Was that Woodford?
That was Woodford.
Yeah, Woodford.
So I wish
fun.
places would do more of that.
No.
I know Bourbon School, they had one out down south by them. I think it was actually
Pennsylvania.
Yeah, Pennsylvania, which sounded good, but I am not going all the way out there and then driving back. You kind of understand that. That sounded really cool, though, from what I heard. So those were the old days. Kind of drink whatever. It's good.
None of this on the front of the palate, mid palate, finish.
Yeah. No, none of that.
Yeah, that's good.
So what do we like drinking nowadays?
Everything.
Everything, but
I like Wheelhouse like 100, 110 most.
And we do like finished. I mean, Deb will gravitate towards it, but not exclusive to, because we like everything, almost everything. Well, you tell me.
I like the Amberanas. I like the toast. I really like the toasteds.
Old Forester.
I like that Michter's toasted better.
Okay, but the Old Forester 1910.
1910, yeah, that was one of my first ones I liked.
The Woodford Reserve Double Oaked.
Yeah, that's a good one too.
Elijah Craig Toasted. They're all in the same genre. You're getting that toasted, marshmallowy, deliciousness, sweeter.
Yeah,
okay.
I like that.
Dabble into the high proofs. I like the high proofs, but sometimes things are so proofy that the heat kills the flavors for me.
It's like having chicken wings that are super hot, just all hot, no taste. Not any good.
But after a bottle opens up a while, then the heat kind of tames down for me a little bit, like the Elijah Craig C923. That was too hot, but now it's starting to tame down, and I'm starting to get more of the flavors. I do like the higher proof stuff, but I think the Wheelhouse is probably more like in the 1-teens for me. But I do like the higher stuff, right? So that's where we're at now. We're all over the place.
Getting into some rye. We like the rye.
Well, we're going to get there. You're jumping the gun. You're jumping the gun on the video. Okay, so like I'd say about a year ago, maybe last November, when we got that Angel's Envy, to now, it's just been freaking crazy. We've accumulated most of our bottles over that time frame. I'm going to guess.
He's nuts.
And you support my nuttiness. I'm going to guess over that span of a little over a year that easily it would have to be over 150 bottles. That's how insane the purchasing and the hunting and everything. I mean, we had it downstairs where it was probably 25 to 50 bottles, whatever. But it went off the rails, and now it's starting to hopefully taper down after Pappy season. I don't feel the urge. I don't have to have everything now. It's calmed down, unlike her cough, which is still going, right? So that's where we're at. Right, we kind of like everything. Spending and buying has been crazy.
Yeah, I retire and then he'd start spending like a madman.
It's my money.
Nice.
So where are we going to go? She already mentioned it. We're starting to dabble in ryes. Now I know they're not true ryes. A lot of them are finished, like the double oaked and things of that nature, toasted. The Michter's toasted rye is awesome. We still got to open up some ryes. The only true ryes that we've had were the Michter's 10 in their standard version. I did try the Sazerac rye and Whistle Pig at Amherst, and those are decent. Yep. So Whistle Pig 6. They didn't have the 10. I think it was for sampling. It might have been 12. But I think definitely get into some more ryes. The Angel's Envy rye finished in rum sounds interesting. I might buy that.
Do we have anything finished in rum? I don't think so.
No.
Yeah, I'd like
so
to get that.
Might try that. Give it a shot. Pick that up at McKinley possibly. Anything else? I think I'd have to have a tasting at a liquor store, like American single malts. I don't know. I didn't like the little book I bought. Not too big of a Scotch fan.
Tequila.
We could try tequila, but I'd like to go to a tasting. And my worry is anything we're going to try.
To Mexico.
Well, we've done tastings at Mexico and we've enjoyed them, right? Anything you're going to try at a liquor store, I'm feeling is going to be like crap.
What do you think?
I don't know.
No,
like for free samplings, you know what I mean? I don't know. You know what I mean? But definitely it's something that I'm going to want to try there before we just say, hey, we're going to get into tequila and we're going to buy random stuff. You know, I just can't go that route. I think ryes are going to be good. So the last thing, if there's like a house fire or something going on here, what are we gonna grab?
The dog.
Okay, I have to grab the dog.
And I will grab the BTEC Eagle Rare 17 and the 12 and 10.
Yeah, we're gonna grab the 2 fake Pappies and the Eagle Rare 17. I think she can manage to grab 3 bottles going out the door while I get the dog. Right? So I know that's cheating. We're only supposed to say 1. If it's 1, it's going to be the Eagle Rare 17. That's going to trump the 2.
Ooh, what about that Heaven Hill 20?
Nope.
No?
Yeah, that corn whiskey isn't going to go for as much on the open market as the Eagle
You think
Rare.
we're going to sell them and build our house back up?
So that's where we're at. I think the insanity is slowly stopping.
He suffers from FOMO.
Definitely. Like when all my friends got a Russell's 13 and I was like crying that I didn't get it. And then I got one and I'm like, it's just okay, you know.
But then he had to be the first of his buddies to get the Rick House.
The Rick House, the Old Fitz, you know, I got to get them all. And I got to be like, look what I got. Hey, look what I got on my lunch break. It's the E.H. Taylor Barrel Proof. Ha ha, guys. Yeah, that's how I roll. And then they got to trump me, you know. So
They do.
we're all yeah, they do. I've got that cellar aged.
I'm so happy about that.
So that's where we're at. We're all over the board. And where we're going to go, maybe Ryeville. Or maybe crazy Finnish stuff. Who knows?
We'll stay with bourbon for a while.
Yeah, I think so. We got to kill what we have. Thank you, Brian and Lauren, and for the laying this out for us. Everything helps when it comes to promoting this teeny channel here. Cheers.
Cheers.
We're hoping we get healthy soon.
New Year.
Yeah.